XYZ, let me start the meeting. Yeah, I'm here to clear all your doubts. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, so I was telling like yesterday we have covered uh, about how to create table object in Salesforce and how to add some custom fields. So when we talk about table, the table we say in Salesforce language as an object, and when we say about fields, it's like our column for that table. And yes, we do have some important data types. Like commonly we are knowing, right, about the number, string, text. But the beauty is in Salesforce, we do have so many important data type that we not need to define, and we can directly use it by defining by just creating those data type. I'll show you. So see, yesterday we have created a custom table with the name training. Okay. So how to open our existing object in Salesforce? So the way is you need to go to your create object, then the object name. So go to the build section. In build we have create, expand it till object, and now here the object name will come. So study my object name was training. Let me find it out. Yeah. So this is a custom object which is being used for some DC batch 2 training session. This is what yesterday I have created. So for this, the important point is the API name. System is going to remember this object by API name. So anything in Salesforce will be remembered by system via API name. Okay, and API means like it will be unique name for system. So if you are going to ever call this object name anywhere, you need to pass this ID, not the label name. Okay, and one more thing, if you have noticed, we are seeing double underscore C. So that's the indication of custom. So wherever going forward you see double underscore C, it's like custom thing. It can be, so in our case we have custom object, then we have custom fields, we can have custom reports, custom workflow rules, work approval process, email alerts, anything it can be. There is no limit. But the beauty is wherever you see double underscore C, it's become the custom. Okay. Now, once you create anything, system will by default added some meaningful information that we say is a standard field, something called out of box feature. So here if you can see, it's came like created by myself, and it will be like modified by myself. So whenever the case you are going to add anything or modify anything, this date will keep changing, but this date will be static. And we have some important scripts for that. Like if we have enabled this, we can track the history, activities, and if we have checked the sharing, we are going to share this object. Okay, so like this we have so many important features in Salesforce regarding any of the custom object. Now, so system also added by default some fields here, like created by last modified by this thing which I'm showing here, owner, myself, and the training name. And we have added two custom fields. So what I will do, See why I am modified that custom field name. In a standard field, by default we are getting one field called your object name. So I got the same field. So by mistake, yesterday I have created a custom field with same name. So to avoid the confusion, I have just modified the name from training name to session name. If both are similar, it will be difficult for us, right? Going forward. There is no any mistake here, but logically we should provide a different name. So whenever you're going to create any custom object, system will by default add a field. So here the field is training name. It came by default. Now in custom fields and relationship, this is the place where you need to add your custom fields called columns. So here we have the options to select the different data type which we have in Salesforce. Excuse me. Now I will show you one by one. So typically, like in SQL Server or Microsoft or Oracle, anywhere, the most common data like databases where we have the keyword like string, varchar to number, boolean, all those, right? But in Salesforce, apart from that, we have so many strong data type. Like for example, we have a data type as a URL. I don't think if we have ever seen any such data type in any of the programming language or any other database. If you want to create any button called URL where you want to open a page just by clicking that button, you can get it. Then for test, we have around four different data types. The difference between four of them is if you give test area, you are going to write a test up to 255 characters. In case of text area long, you are free to write anything up to 1,31,000 characters. And if you give text area rich, you can write multi-liner comment. And in case of text encrypted, you can write the confidential information, something called credit card number or any person social security number. Okay, so we have around 1, 2, 3, 5 different five types of test as a data type in Salesforce, where the text belongs to normal text area. You can write a long keyword but in same line, where in text area long you have again ability to write multi-liner comment, and in text area rich you have liberty to write multi-liner comment but up to the limit of 1,31,000. And in text encrypted, yes, whatever you're going to write it is going to encrypt every time when you hit the save button. So any question till now from any of you? I think Lakshmi was asking me, sorry I forgot that. So Lakshmi, you're having some doubt, right?
Yeah,
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 go
end
ahead
of the
please.
class I will ask.
No issue, no issue.
End of the class.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Any,
because I am having the idea. I am having a doubt. Still, it is there only. Just at the end of the class, I will ask.
no
You can
issue.
continue.
Okay. Now we have the again data type something called pick list and pick list multi-select. So pick list means that radio button. Oh, no, it means the drop down option in Salesforce. So if you define pick list, it will come as a drop down where we show like 1, 2, 3. Okay, and at a time you can select one similar to your radio button. But if you define pick list multi select, so here the feature is you can select more than one option at a time. I mean, if I have as a something called training type, online, offline, class, okay, so you can select two or three at a time in case if you have given or if you have defined the data type as a multi select pick list. Then we have phone. This is going to take your just phone number. It will be just like 10 character, not 12. You the percent as well, number as well, and geolocation. Geolocation is something called, if you want to store location specific data, something which we have in location only. Like for Asia region, in India, we have the currency about just rupees. In maybe China, we have some other currency. So in case if you are going to store any geography specific data, you need to use geolocation. Okay, and for the email, yes, it's again a strong data type. And if you define this, you just need to provide your data in the email format, something like xyz at the rate, again something like xy.com or .in, whatever it can be. Okay, anyway, in right side you have the meaningful description you can see here. So why I'm telling one by one, just to make sure, like, we have seen the data type in our IT lives, but we have seen just like the common one. When in Salesforce, we have so many new data type which I don't think we have ever seen anywhere else apart from Salesforce. Okay, and we have date and date time. So these both are quite similar. Date means, of course, the date one, and date time will take date along with the current time. Currency again is a new keyword in Salesforce, where if you want to allow the specific local currency of any other country, you can define it. But here, the prerequisite is you need to raise a request with Salesforce in case if you want to store any local currency. By default, system will provide you the US currency. Then we have a checkbox here, okay, which will act again as a radio button, and it will have you the option like select one at a time. So don't be confused with checkbox and pick list. Both are quite different. So pick list you are going to pick by the drop down options. But in checkbox, something like boolean, true false, 1 0, like the X fixer. And then this is uh this will come here. Okay. And auto number, yes, it will give you the, if you select this, so every time if you are going to save the record, the system will implement automation number, sometime like 001, next time 002, next time then 003, going forward in that fashion. And formula is again, it's like a read only field. Once you define it, you can do the basic mathematical operations like sum, division, subtraction, multiplication. After that, we have this 1 2 3 strong data type in Salesforce. This is very strong, and which is pretty new here, and you need to pay attention, and you need to, of course, do some practice as well. So lookup and master detail, what is that? So for that, a lookup means if I am on one table and I want to get data of other table, something we have read like primary and foreign key relationship in our database, right? So here, if I am in the training object, I'm in training object, and I can see my record which I have created. Now, assume a scenario, if something being here, I want to get data of another object. Means inside training object, I want to get the data of other table. It can be custom table, it can be extended table. I just want to see that record as well. So in that case, we need to use the concept of lookup relationship in Salesforce. So lookup is something We can create maximum 25 lookup custom fields in our Salesforce. And here, security is not a concern in lookup. We have very important some points regarding that. I think I have noted somewhere. If not, no worry. Yeah, I'm noted here. So what is this? Lookup means here. If I create any of the field as a lookup, if I create lookup and I go on next, also right now, so it will lookup will always work on a something called binding. So these three keyword lookup, master detail, and external lookup. These three are coming under the category of relationship. Okay, so here since we don't have the concept of primary key and foreign key, remember the basic, the core logic of our database. In case we if we have two different table called employee 1 and employee 2, and if I want table employee 1 and still want to get the data of employee 2, in that case the core logic was I need to attach one foreign key from employee 2 to my employee 1 table. Okay, so there I'm in this fashion. Let me compare so that it will become more clear. Because apart from these fields, I don't think you'll get some doubts in any other places. See, in our typical database language, okay, we have two fields, employee 1 and employee 2. Now, employee 1, we have some custom fields here, something called ID, name. And for employee 2, we have again some custom field here, ID and address. So if you remember, in our typical database, one of the field we should have common in case if you are going to bind. So here my id will be act as a primary key, and here my id will act as a foreign key. So in case if I want to get the access of this field, I need to add like this fashion, employee 1, okay, dot employee 2 address. So here by writing this logic, I'm going to call the address field of second table by lying on the first table. This is a typical logic which we have used in Oracle or SQL. In Salesforce, to to make these connections, okay, we have the keyword called lookup. Let me show you what mate. I think my mate came. I'm going to define a lookup custom field in my session. Now the second step, it asked me which object I need to relate. So I will relate the object called user, where we have I have here. So user is again a standard object in Salesforce, which will store the user specific data. Let me show you that as well.
Ram, can you go a step behind? How you had gone to the lookup
Sure,
from the data type?
sure. I will show. Yes. See, we have a user as a standard field in Salesforce. If you click on it, If you click on it and go to the fields, by default, this standard object has so many fields. Okay, about me, active, address, the typical details of the user, that the username, his profile, his role, his permissions, whether he's active or inactive, that thing. Now coming to Lakshmi query, it's pretty simple. I'll go from beginning, don't worry. Just pick your table. In our case, the table name is training. I took that. Now my requirement is to create a lookup custom fields. I'll be on the same page, custom fields. So remember, to create any type of data type in Salesforce, you need to be always go on this section, custom fields and relationships. So click on new. Now, as per the business requirement, you are free to choose any of the data type, but you need to be smart enough to make a quick decision that which data type will work here. Especially in the case of test, you have to be bit cautious. In case if you want to write some multi-line comment on the test, and if you've selected test area, it's not going to work. Okay. Now my requirement is I need to create a lookup field. I choose lookup. I went to next. Then system asked me with which object you want to make it lookup. I mean the bonding. So I have given as a user. Then I'll go for the next. Then system will ask you to enter some label as a like column name of that. So I have given something called user detail. Once I hit it on next, you see this name. So remember, this is our label name, but this is our field name. So field name is something called API name. In case if you are going to write any query in SQL or SOQL, I will tell you that about as well. So system, remember this way, system is always going to identify this field by the unique API name, and that API name will be, can you guys tell me what will be the API name of this field?
Field name and underscore C, is it right?
You, yeah, user underscore detail underscore C.
Correct, very good. So this will be API name of this field. And what is the indication of this double underscore C?
It is a custom field.
Okay, and in case if you ever see some data like this and we don't have
It is a
any double
standard.
underscore C, what does that
It is a
indicate?
standard field.
Correct. Standard field, it can be anything. Standard fields or standard object. In case if I've shown you here, see,
Yeah.
also for the account, there is no any something called double underscore, right? So wherever you will not see any kind of double underscore, always remember it's a standard thing. It can be standard table, it can be standard fields, anything. Now, custom field used in training object as part of SFDC batch 2 sessions. So please remember the best part in Salesforce is means you should always give some meaningful description so that in case if you're not working, someone else came in your place, he or she will be easily understand which field for what purpose you have created. Now click on next. So here I think I have covered the topic of profile, right? Hello.
Yes, Ram. Yes, Ram.
So here it will ask you like by creating this custom field, what are all the profiles you want to make them visible. Okay, so that depends again on the uh, core decision of business. We have some fields which is visible only for the HR division, something called salary field, something called appraisal, ratings, which should not be visible by everyone. Then we can have some field which can be visible by everyone, something called employee name. Okay, so to be always very smart while creating any custom fields, especially in the section of giving the permissions. This come under permission. So in my case, I just want to give permission for system admin profile, not everyone. Now for this custom field, no one can see except sysadmin profile. I go for next and I click on save. So typical thing is that in Salesforce we have to always follow 3 to 4 steps while creating of any of the custom fields or any of the custom things in Salesforce. We need to always define 3 or 4 liner actions. Now I have 3 things, I have 3 fields in my custom object. So in case if I want to insert any data on this table, can you guys please tell me where do I need to go? My table is ready with 3 column. Now my next requirement is I need to enter some data. So please tell me how to go, where to go.
From the tab, right? From trainings, and then we'll create a new that one.
Correct, correct, yeah. This is what I was trying to hear from you guys. So uh, no matter how many objects you have created, until unless you have not created a tab for that object, you will not be able to see or enter a record. So tab is something called like you are saying as a your UI button or your UI address. For the end user, they will not bother about what in backend what table you have created, what record you have added. Okay, you have so many things here going forward. You'll come to know one by one. We have custom fields. We do have to apply some validation rules, triggers, layouts, everything. Okay, but for the end user, the visible thing is just the tab name. Now I went to trainings. I have picked. I'm going to enter new record. I'll give training name something called session 2 and session name I have given Friday. Duration I have given some 1 hour. Now this is the field which newly added. I'm not sure if you guys have opened this object yesterday. You have seen just 3 column. Even today also I have opened it, right? We have seen just 3 column. But just now, by adding the lookup field, I got one more column. Can you follow me till now?
Yes, Ram.
Please tell,
Yes,
okay?
Ram.
Otherwise, in case if you need, I will repeat it. There is no issue. So what I mean here, till yesterday, we have created just 2 field, session name and duration. This is a system defined field which came by default. And today, when just now I have created one custom field of lookup, I got my column in this fashion. So this is the typical lookup type of data in Salesforce. So here the beauty is now I am inside the training object, but being on training, I'm going to get the data user object. So I will search about some name, whether I have a user in my system called Lakshmi. Let me search. I click on go. I don't have. I don't have. So by default, if you are not sure to choose which of the record from that object, which you can do, just click on go and system has shown by default I have just 2 user in my org, Ram Srivastav and Shivam Kumar. I'll pick any of them. I'll pick any of them. Just a minute. And if I hit unsave, I got an issue here. What is that? Invalid number. Any guess? What is that?
It is in only the numeric, as we had entered the alphanumeric.
Correct. It will be just a data of numeric. And here, as of now, we are getting this thing. Going forward, we have one very important topics called validation rule, which I can show you right now. This topic, okay. So here, with by writing any validation rule, you are going to control your entire security features for the end user. If I click on save, I got data. Session 2, Friday, duration 1 hour, and user Shivam Kumar. Now I am on this training object, and by lookup I got the data of Shivam. If I just hit on it, the beauty is I was in training object previously. Okay. Now when I hit on Shivam Kumar, I can see the entire data of that user. Excuse me. See here, I can see the data of Shivam Kumar, his profile role. Again, I will repeat. The lookup concept is I was in training to object, and here I have used a lookup field. So by lookup field, I got as a hyperlink. That's a one important identification of lookup and master detail. If I click on it, the system navigate me into that object. And if you click on the detail, you are going to see the entire thing here. Okay. Now please make some
Yeah,
important.
ma'am.
Now please make some
Yeah,
important
ma'am.
notes here.
Okay.
So lookup means in a system you can create maximum 25 lookup custom fields, not more than that. That's a governor limit by Salesforce. Okay, governor limit means since Salesforce is running in the fully cloud, they will be apply every time their own limits into the arg so that you are not going to cross that. So the limit as of now is you can't create, sorry, you can create up to 25 different column as a lookup data type, not more than that. And you can lookup means it's like loosely coupled. Loosely coupled means if you delete the data of Shivam Kumar from here, this is not going to impact in the original place. So here, if we have a data in employee 1 and employee 2, on the place of employee 1, I have used the data of employee 2. So if I remove the record of address in employee 2 table, which I have also used in employee 1 table, if I delete here, this is not going to impact my primary object. That's the reason we say as a loosely coupled. Security is not any restrictions here. Now we have one more important data type similar to that but quite differ called master detail. In master detail, it is again a relationship data type where so here the limit is we can create maximum two master detail fields in Salesforce, but lookup we can create up to 25. Lookup is loosely coupled, but master detail is tightly coupled. Tightly coupled means no matter wherever you are, if you have done ever a binding of the target object, in our case imply 1 and imply 2, and if we have used the imply 2 records in imply 1 objects, so if you are going to delete anywhere, it is going to delete the entire record from the system. The difference between both of them is lookup is loosely coupled. You can create maximum 25. Security is not a concern, but master detail is you can create just up to 2, not more than that. And security is concerned is tightly coupled. And one more thing here, until and unless you have not created any fields with master detail data type, this field is not going to become active. So a custom we have a data type by name roll up summary field. Okay, this become active only in case if you have created at least one field as a master detail data type. This question you might can get in your interview as well and in your admin 2.1 certification as well. The typical admin questions. Okay, that which fields in Salesforce we have as a inactive until unless you do some certain condition. The answer is roll up summary formula field. It will become active only and only if you have created at least one custom field with data type as a master detail. Okay, and with roll up summary by name itself, you can understand it is a read only field which is going to do some roll up. Roll up means it will do some minimum, maximum kind of things. So if we have a record in our UI, number one, number two, number three, and if you want to get addition of all these three fields, you can define the roll summary formula field. Okay, which will do the automation in real life. Means it can do the summation of records. It can do. It can also find the maximum of records and the minimum of records. So maximum minimum means the pretty simple one. If I have a field called range, not range, value, if I've given like 1, 2, 3, and if I'm going to do as a max value, it's going to give me 3 as a value. Am I right? So max means it will select the maximum number in our field. Our simple way is that max define 1, 2, 3, 34. If you run this, this is going to return 34 as a maximum value. In the case of minimum, it is going to give you 3 as a result of the minimum value. If you click on sum, it will act as a 12 plus 3 plus 14. It's going to give you value of 29. So these all mathematical operations you can do in roll up summary formula field, which will be active in case if you have defined any master detail data type. Okay, now I will show you that as well. I'll go to my original object, and as of now I have two record. I'll enter two or three more. Session 3 training name, better give it some meaningful. This I'll give here, and I'll give a training name as SFDC, common name, duration 2 hour, and this time I can take something called Ram Srivastav. If we have, let me check whether we have or not. Yes, we do have. I click on save. I'll create, I have three now. I'll create one more. SFDC, session 4, distance called 6 hours. Here, if you have seen, I haven't selected lookup field even though I am able to save. Any idea why it has not prompted me any error? Any guess, please, from your side? Either
Yeah, not a
Suman, Lakshmi, or Shiva.
is it because not a required field, Ram?
Yes, correct. You are right. Absolutely right. In case of required field, you have seen the red marks. Okay, but not here. So where you make field as a required, you will say it. The second question is how to make a field required. Any idea? How to make field required in Salesforce? I think here Lakshmi should remember.
But
No worry, just give me some guess how to make a required field in Salesforce. How to do it?
validation.
This is advanced stuff. Okay, you are right here, but it's an advanced topic. Before that, we have some more option, right? Where without writing a single rule, we can make field required. You are right.
So
Well,
rules.
validation we can do it, but it's an advanced topic. See, if something we can
Mhm.
do via click basis, why we need to write a code? Am I right or not?
Yeah.
So just
So
in
we
that
can
fashion.
we can we can have a rules.
No, you are wrong here, guys. Please bear me. I will keep asking questions. Okay, that's my habit.
Do,
No
do
worry.
you have any option in field settings? Make it as mandatory.
Uh, settings. Yes, yes, Suman, you are going partially right. See what happened, right? If I select some field here called email, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create one more field of data type as email. I give a next. So here you can see it something called required. Got it?
Okay.
So the answer is while creating the field, you have the options to make it required as a compulsory, to make it unique so that it will not take duplicate records. Okay, please remember all these terms going forward. Custom object field and training object as part of SFDC batch 2 session. If I click on next, remaining thing I'll just ignore. By assuming you guys are knowing it, the profile settings and the FLS, I mean the field level security settings. I click on save. That's all. Now I'll go on trainings again and I'll ask for the new record. I got my email field as well, and it's became as a red. Why become red? While doing the field creation, I make it required field. Are we clear till now?
Yeah.
So wherever in the UI, if you see is a red marks, so remember these are the required field. You need to enter it. Okay. Now I'll give session name again here. Salesforce. Duration I'll give 10. Username if I want to give, I can give it. And this is a required field. If I hit unsave, system will throw error that you must enter a value. Why? Because this field I have make it required. I will use mine ID and this is taking the data in the email format. Now do one particular here. If you give this as an email, it should take or not? In the email data types, if you're giving the value in this fashion, just as a text or number, do you think it should take or not?
As we have taken email required field, it has to take actually.
So you mean like if I give this field, let me show you it's more clearly.
It will check for
Uh,
condition at the rate and all.
Yes, Suman, you're absolutely right. My question is if I give this field, you can see my screen, right? Let me,
yeah, now.
yeah,
Okay.
no worry. Just ask me if I have given this data in my email field. Of course, system will not take it. Why? Because it's not in the format of email. System will check always something in this format at the rate access dot in or dot com. So the fashion is it will check the data in this particular format. So for this case, this is not in this format. So if I click on save, it will again throw me error. Invalid email address. Why? Because we have not given the proper email format. Now if I give on save, system allow me. I got it. Now, now total how many record I have? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So are we clear till now about the data creations, the custom field creation, and how to enter record here? Okay. Now the next topic is how to create view. What is view in Salesforce? So for that topic, uh, are you seeing something odd here? Not odd, but not very user friendly. See, I'm on the account object and I move to training. Now think from a end user perspective. He want to see how many records we have in the training field, in the training table. He click here and he click on go. He see total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records. So you can count from here, but system will count for you automatically in the bottom side. So here like total 5 records we have in this particular table. But something is missing here. Can you guys please guess what's miss here?
Details of the fields.
Mm, okay, good. Any more try from Shiva or Suman side? Something
Yeah,
missing here.
other
Something. Hmm.
other fields, email duration and all. That
Correct, correct. So here we need to always create some rich UI. So think from as a end user perspective, as a designer perspective, that what else I can provide here so that users should not go and click one by one to see what are all the records we have. So to come overcome of that issue, we have a concept of create view in Salesforce. Now what I will do, I'll create a view. I'll give a name called all records where if user select as a view from this drop down, he is going to see at least if not all the important columns. Why I've used the term at least, I might have case I have more than some like hundred of columns, which of course I will not be able to show in single screen, right? That depends again. Now I'll click on create new and I've given my view name as a all records. I have given this name. Here again the unique name came with this fashion. This again the API name. Now it's a view, right? But the API name will become all underscore records double underscore C. Now the next step is specify filter criteria. So here you can make filter as well if you want to make some specific filter that uh, that also I will tell you. Before that, But before making it complex, let me go for simple one. Now I want to just say session name, then duration, where that duration, then user detail, yes we do have, and then the email ID. So here if you have seen, this is available fields. System will show you all the available fields here, either standard field or custom field. So you guys can be surprised, in our object we have created just 1, 2, 3, 4 field, but here I'm getting more than 10. Why this so? Because it has shown me both custom custom field as well as standard field. And if you want to make something called here like up and down, you can do from here as well. And in case if you want to just make it only for you, visible to me only, but in case if you want to make it public, make it public by this visible to all users. I click on save. I'm done. Now if I'm any other object and if I want to come for trainings, so for trainings, even though it's not came here and I have created a view, so any idea how to see that? Just now I have created a view. Now you can see two things here. One is all records. The difference is all came by default from system, which has shown me this record. But my view name, what I have created just now, is all records. I just need to click on there and click on go. It came. Now this is looking, I think, more pretty and more beautiful than just by displaying the single column.
Okay.
Are we right till now?
Yeah, I
So
got it.
the important thing of view here is, as of now, I have not entered any filter in my previous case. But remember, guys, uh, sometimes we have business requirement where I just want to see the data of country equals to India. So no matter how many record I have, so here I'll create one record like email specific. Okay, and now
I
here
mean, where to, Ram, like where to make the default view? Like the view which we are creating, we want it to be as a default view.
default view will be by default the system given view. That is,
Okay.
if you have seen here, all, not this,
Yeah.
this one, this all. This is default view. So by default, when you are coming here, system will show you this view. Okay.
Okay.
So where you
So
have
we
just
use our
visibility of
view as a
one
default.
column.
Okay.
To overcome of that, I have just used all records, and now I'm able to see the data as per my own convenience. Right?
Okay.
Just a minute. Hello. 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 Who's this? Hello. I think it's wrong number. Hello. Yeah, Suman. Some query you are having, I think.
Yeah, Ram, like the query was only like how our custom view can be a default view. Is it possible?
Custom view as a default view.
Yeah.
Mm, custom view as a default view. No, it's not possible. You have the liberty to create up to 30 different view here, but you can't
Okay.
make any view as a default here. The default view will be always the system given, which we are seeing in the earlier. Okay, As per my knowledge, Suman, I don't think we can restrict the user with specific to view name. But yes, I'll cross check once from my side if we have something called. Okay, that's a good point.
And in the default view, we can add our columns also, right?
Here, right? Yes,
Our
you can add it.
yeah.
See the default view. That's see the logic remains same. If you remember, I told like we have standard things. It can be standard object, standard name or table. So here I also cover one important topic. The standard things you can modify as per your requirement, but you can't delete. Got it? See
Okay.
here, I'm in the all records. I have everything. I can play with it. I can have the delete option here. Now for the all, I do have delete. Acha, no. Sorry, I was wrong here. I'm talking about the features, not about the records here. So standard means this one all. So this all you can't delete. I mean not about the record. I mean this view, this initial view. Initial view you can't delete from system. So that means the again concept remain the same. Standard features in Salesforce, whatever we are having, you can use it, you can modify it, but you can't delete either any object or fields or view or report anywhere. So here, if you want to edit, you can do that. You have that option. Let me make it more clear. If I go to object, now see, our object name is training, right? Here I have the options to edit and delete. I can delete. Why? Because this is custom object which I have created. But in case of standard object which we have as account, we don't have any option for delete here. So that means we can just use it standard of object. Let me make it more clear. I am in the account object which is standard. Okay, I have the account fields, and of course we do have the liberty to add custom fields in the standard fields. So now I am in the account as standard fields in Salesforce, and I have seen all these fields by default given by system. So here, as per your convenience, you can edit, you can modify it, but nowhere we have the option for delete. But in case of custom field, which I have created, everywhere I have the options to delete. That's a key difference between standard and columns. Standard, it can be object, it can be table, it can be report. You can modify it, but you can't delete. Okay? Is it clear till now?
Yeah. Ram.
Now here I was talking about filter. So in case if you want to create a view as per the criteria, I mean assume in Husky Energy, as of now we are having around 500 plus live users. Now out of 500, if 100 belongs to UK, not Canada, so I want to create a view that those users can see the data belong to UK, not the Canada. So how to do it? You need to do it via creating a view. So here, since I've given email specific, what I will do, I will do email equals to mine one, which just now I have entered gmail.com. And of course, I'm going to add all those fields here, session name, email, and only three things I want to give. I'll give second one. I'll click on save. Now, all of you, as of now, we have total three view in my drop downs. If I click on all, system given. If I click on all records, I've seen the entire thing. But if I've seen the email specific, so you can see I have just given that email in one of the record out of five. Can you follow me till now?
Yeah, Ram.
So if I go for that view, I just got one record. Why? Because apart from this session 4 record, I have not given anywhere else as my email ID. So what I will do, I'll just modify one and I'll give my email ID same. I click on save. I got this issue. Why? If you remember, while creating this field, I have given the criteria. It should be unique, not duplicate. Fine? I mean
Yes.
here, while creating of the field, let me again show you. While creating of the field, we have the option here, right? To make it feel like required. I mean this way. To make it, see here, uh, required. Required will take you for the unique field. But in case I have given for the email, let me show that as well. For the email, I have an option for make it required and unique as well. So what I have done, I have just chosen unique. So it will not allow you to take the duplicate records. Okay, guys. So with this, I would
Okay.
like to conclude my topics for today. In case if you have any query, ask me. Just a minute, I think. Yeah, guys. So any query you have?
Yeah, I'm having
Okay,
the the
let's let's do one thing. Sorry, actually, it's a bit late. 7:45. I have my next batch. So can we please take a query tomorrow if you don't mind?
yeah, I'm okay. It's okay, fine.
I'm
So
not
I'm
seeing.
having the queries. Yeah, no, no issues. But I'm having other queries on for the today's session also. So I will consolidate it, and tomorrow we can have a clear on that one.
No, so
Yeah.
actually, we have reached less than 45 minutes. I haven't seen the time. So
Yeah.
I have my next
Okay.
batch. So no issue, right? Thanks, and
Okay,
we'll
Ram.
meet
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thanks for the
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Bye. Yeah.
And one announcement here, a small one.
Yeah,
Hello.
Ram.
Today today is my birthday.
Oh,
Arey,
happy.
Happy
Yeah.
many
birthday.
many happy
Happy
returns of the day.
birthday.
Thank you,
What
thank you.
about the party?
Of course, for party you can meet me
Arey,
anytime. Okay. Now they are calling.
Janmadin Mubarak. Janmadin
Are you,
Mubarak.
Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone.
are you, so are you
Ramjan
going to
Mubarak
office or
also.
else?
No issue, no issue. Okay. So I think now those guys
Hey
are
Ram,
calling.
yeah. Are you going to office or else spending the time with the family
He
today?
he has some plans here. He will not disclose to you, Lakshmi.
No, no,
Should
no,
not
no.
ask.
No, no.
No, the thing is
He,
that he had told that any time. That's what that is the word.
Yes, you are right
If
here.
we are
So,
asked about it any time.
so you're right
we
here.
don't know last.
So I will took my
We don't
second
know
batch.
last midnight where he was. Okay.
So I will took my
Okay,
second.
okay.
I will took my second batch that I'll go to office for half day. For remaining post lunch, I have taken the leave. So yes, Siva, you are right. I have some plans.
That I know. That I know. That is default, right? This default view.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, my wife will kill me right today.
Okay, yaar.
And
Once
Okay.
for,
again, happy
Once again,
birthday
happy
and have a nice
birthday.
day. Bye.
thanks everyone, and be prepared. I'm going to give you parties soon, very soon. Okay.
Yeah, Ram.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye bye
Okay, yaar.
everyone.
Bye. Chalo, bye.
Bye.
Bye.